A lady turned on the light and noticed a group of people with strange smiles standing at the door. Although they were standing stationary, the gang would come closer to the lady when she glanced away. Is it possible to enjoy this captivating horror film alone? Watch it together. This film had 640 million views in its first week. This 2024 horror flick is a blockbuster. Skye, the protagonist, is a renowned actress, but an accident killed her lover right there. Although Skye survived the accident, she had to undergo rehabilitation for a year. She made changes and returned to singing. However, the accident hampered her practice. Skye approached a friend to get medications before the show. She began to act strangely after a few days without her friend. He stated, "I frequently see pictures that are incredibly difficult to accept." So Skye felt her buddy had hallucinated on a stimulant. Skye hastily packed things and left, but Lewis shrugged and said he would grab the medication in the room. Skye waited half a day without seeing her pal. She was losing patience and wanted to see for herself, but as she approached the door, Lewis ran out of the room, his eyes looking skyward. Skye whirled back quickly but saw nothing behind her. Who knew Lewis would fall and have his tongue buried in something the following second? The Emperor was perplexed by Skye's amazement. He observed Lewis with a peculiar grin while debating whether to call an ambulance. Skye was so afraid she kept reversing. She saw Lewis leap, but he struck himself in the face instead of Skye. Lewis collapsed with blood on his face after several strikes. Skye perked up and considered contacting the cops. Given that the residence was brimming with pills, she was apprehensive that the case would garner public attention and potentially harm her career. She could only hurry home to wake up with a giant glass of water. Skye drowned in awful visions previously. Closed eyelids made her feel like something was hovering on the floor. But when she sat up, nothing was there. From then on, Skye's feelings were hazy. She imagined that Lewis's physique had left a psychological shadow in her thoughts. The day brought Skye an odd message about Lewis' death. Skye was still shocked when she saw Lewis's reflection behind her in the mirror, as if he were catching up to her. Skye swiftly looked around but found nothing, so she believed it was a pressure illusion. More odd things occurred unexpectedly after that. A curly-haired guy wanted to photograph her in the afternoon while conversing with admirers. Skye agreed despite her discontent. However, as she waited for the shot, the person approached with a crazed expression, weeping and wanting Skye. Skye had a long time to recover after the guards chased him away. As she entered the stage, she observed a strange smiling girl. Whatever you asked, the girl merely gazed at Skye while not responding. Her heart was terrified, yet she survived the face-to-face encounter. When she returned to the waiting room, she recalled her terrible morning. She phoned her closest friend to beg her to join her immediately. Skye's voice cracked again after turning off the phone. Skye spun around and discovered her distinctive t-shirt on the floor. She saw that a male admirer had just come and was near the outfit and shoes. Skye was terrified and rushed away after seeing a shadow in the bedroom on the sign. She was surprised to find her closest buddy when she answered the door. Having her closest buddy at her side boosts her confidence. She gained the confidence to return to the bedroom, but she searched a vast room and found no shadow and the t-shirt on the floor was gone. Her closest friend recommended Skye consult a therapist since her soul was troubled. Skye wanted someone to speak to, so she told Lewis about last night at his place. She stated Lewis used too much magic and harmed himself, leaving her uncertain about what to do. Since Skye is a famous person, her closest friend urged her to avoid addicts. Skye dreamed of a boyfriend-girlfriend vehicle collision last night. After waking up, she couldn't sleep, so she slept with her closest buddy, but when she found out, her pal smiled strangely. Skye feared waking up to reclaim her spirit, but she was no longer in bed. She heard her friend's morning bell as she woke up. Skye was unaware that the sun had risen. Skye tried everything to relax since the pressure was still too high. In practice, the accident occurred again unexpectedly. Skye collapsed and felt her legs break.
Dreams igniting every soul sincere. Counting down, let the joy begin. Step into the world we're living in. Shout it out, let the laughter ring. Welcome to the night, we'll dance and sing. Champagne bubbles, sparkles in the eye.
What transpired was an illusion when she switched on the light. Skye claimed someone intentionally made her fall, but the director saw it and stated she fell voluntarily. Skye slammed the door, but as she moved across the hallway, the assistant smiled strangely. Her lounge was disheveled when she returned after frantically hiding in it to calm herself. After Skye believed the assistant had departed, the assistant stated she was innocent and that he had never been in the lounge today. Skye's mother testified that she had just been with the assistant and told her daughter to swiftly alter her emotions since tonight was a charity dinner. Skye, in her wedding dress, ascended the platform at night. Her lover appeared at the event unexpectedly and smiled strangely throughout her speech. Skye screamed, "Don't come near me." Luckily, she understood this was a delusion, so she attempted to clear her head. Her boyfriend's form vanished. But behind the stage, visitors were shocked and afraid. Sky was about to explain when her boyfriend's figure emerged. With impulse, she pushed hard, and the individual fell beneath the stage. Sky unexpectedly captivated both the party host and the charity's celebration attendees. Kim, her manager mother, apologized to the company several times. After arriving home, Sky received a video and letter from a stranger which were sent before Louis died. His expressions now behaved strangely, like Sky's. Sky finally understood if she was reliving Louis's experience. Feeling scared, she went to visit that stranger. After meeting in a foreign bar, Maurice said that he had surreptitiously studied Louis. It wasn't until Maurice, who was the last to call, that he found Sky. Sky didn't care, she simply wanted to know Louis. Maurice told Sky that a cheerful demon, not oppression, possessed Louis. A peculiar grin will arise initially, followed by countless horrible illusions. At the death scene, the devil pushed the host to oppress and moved the witness's body. Sky was shocked. Was she demon-possessed? Maurice confirmed that the grinning demon possessed his sibling. Louis incarnated as Sky after 8 reincarnations. Maurice found a way to cope with the devil during this period. If the host becomes constipated and there are no witnesses, the smiling demon will die. Sky considered this hazardous. Without rescue, she would perish. After some admirers discovered Sky's identity, the two had to stop talking. Sky raced from the bar, feeling like she didn't remember how she got home. Maurice delivered too much information in a rush for her to comprehend. Her only option was to leave this familiar area, so she rapidly packed. Sky was leaving the home when she saw a number of individuals with a peculiar grin in the hallway. She thought it was all a dream, but as she turned around, that throng was growing closer. Sky recalled the wooden people game, so she could only stare and walk slowly. After making a gap, she raced away, but some people smiled in front of her. No matter where Sky glanced, the individuals on the opposite side would discreetly shift because she was scared to realize she was encircled by them. Sky had become a fish in a net, as expected. She felt hands coming for her and one stroking her neck. Soon after, darkness fell and she lost all knowledge. Sky awoke in the hospital bed. Her mother reported she collapsed at home and fainted on the floor, but she was found early and merely rested for 2 days. Sky recalled Morris's remark about the laughingstock and had to act immediately. She announced that she intended to cancel her re-release event, but her mother had a contract with an entertainment business. Sky would lose her reputation and pay millions if she broke the pact. Sky went insane with anger and said that her mother may only be concerned about this. Before she could continue disputing with her mother, she smiled strangely. Sky realized what this meant and yelled that she couldn't, but her mother broke the mirror. She then inserted the fractured piece inside her body. She smiled throughout. Sky nearly fell, so she attempted to leave the hospital bed, but she accidentally grabbed a mirror as she ran away. At this time, she understood she had murdered her mother. Sky wanted to believe it was all a dream, but the suicide order was real. Sky sought a cause to drive her closest friend away when she sensed sorrow and heard a tap on the door from behind. She covered her mother's corpse with a stretcher after calming down since she needed to go first. Sky wore a horrible jacket, but her blood spots showed. The pandemonium in the hall alerted the guards, so Sky snatched the pistol from the opponent's back. After leaving the hospital hastily, she stopped a vehicle, and Sky saw this evil grin. Maurice, the researcher, was Sky's only defense. After a long period of feeling insane, Sky finally met Maurice. She requested that the opponent exorcise her demon. After some time, Maurice carried her to a freezer. His long plan moved. Sky's heart might cease beating with the tube of drugs, and her body may slow with the freezer. Once he destroyed Sky's demon, he swiftly came to her aid. Sky breathed deeply on the hospital bed while Maurice insisted that everything he saw was phony. What astonished Sky was that Maurice didn't say anything, turned back, and didn't give her medication. It felt colder around her. Accidentally, she appeared in her image and plummeted into her body after removing the safety rope. The tube indicated it had been waiting for her for a long time, so Sky assumed this was the devil's true form, but she couldn't resist. Devil laughed and placed her finger in her mouth to make Sky laugh. Sky forced herself to bite her finger off and put the heart medication into her neck to stop him. Her desire for this monster persisted even without Maurice. Who would have guessed she would laugh again and prove her control? Sky simply sensed blackness in front of her eyes and then got on the concert stage. Since her dead mother was beneath the stage, Sky couldn't determine whether it was genuine. She opened her eyes in fear to see her form on stage. That apparition giggled and had 2 bloody hands in her mouth. Sky alone saw the devil's true identity. Sky was so afraid of the devil's hands opening her mouth that she dropped to the ground. The crowd behind the stage was still shouting senselessly. Sky then left the stage. In front of thousands, the crowd laughed. Sky had the microphone in her mind in an instant. All the spectators beneath the stage saw her identify. Smile 2's content is over. Maintaining the current version of this film will ensure its release in the second half of next year. The spirit of Leylon may be one-on-one with numerous individuals. In a crowd, the third component is appealing. Subscribe, like, and push the notification bell to catch fascinating movies.